Are girls bigger bullies than boys? And I picked this topic because it's an education major. I want to see how this relates to the classroom environment and what the controversial sides were of this topic. Alright, so for the introduction, if the pro side was correct, this means that there's enough evidence proving that girls are the bigger bullies compared to boys. Now, on the con side, this means that there's not enough evidence to prove this, or there could be equal amounts or more information on the other side. So I just want to see what you guys think. Who thinks that girls are the bigger bullies? Just raise your hands. Okay. And who thinks boys are the bigger bullies? Okay. So my pro side article number 1 came from the Female Aggression Revisited. Now this reference looked for the evidence supporting the hypothesis that girls are more indirectly aggressive than boys. And they compared average scores of girls and boys by using the direct, indirect aggression scales. And the results found that boys use more direct forms of aggression, so this would be more physical, such as pushing and other forms of fighting, and girls use more forms of indirect aggression. So this would be like cyberbullying over social media. My pro side article number 2 comes from the relational and physical aggression. And in this reference, associations between children's relations with classmates and behaviors were examined. Results show that children's early behaviors stay with them into early adolescence. And there is an example in the reading where there is no gender differences amongst 3rd graders, but it was shown that by the 6th grade, girls are more aggressive than their male peers. And this aggression stays with them into later adolescence. And on the content article number 1, this comes from the incremental utility of callous unemotional traits, also referred to as CU traits. CU traits are defined as distinguished by a persistent pattern of behavior that reflects a disregard of others and lacks empathy. These CU traits were tested to explain variance in measures of aggression and bullying. These traits didn't explain variance in self-report measures of reactive aggression. Chronic problems were more strongly related to peer reports of bullying girls with higher CU traits. However, these CU traits were not related to behaviors that defend victims of bullying. My con side article number 2 comes from bullying and victimization. This reference examines the mechanisms by which students' perceptions of family and school experience connect between their emotionality and their involvement in bullying and victimization. Now, the authors of this study hypothesized that students with internal or external difficulties are less likely to be categorized as bullies or victims if they come from adaptable families and attend schools with higher adult monitoring. Surveys were completed by both students and teachers about peer relationships as well as academic performance. The data they received did not support a major difference between bullying and victimization between both girls and boys. There are many different viewpoints on this topic, and where I stand is, after reading all the information that I have and the results, I think that girls are the bigger bully because there's studies show that they have more aggression and are more emotional towards different situations and events. And here are my references that conclude my presentation. Thank you.